I'm Chef John Maxwell, and welcome to Heart of the Home. We're here at Doswell, Virginia, at Meadow Event Park in Meadow Hall. And we're going to get ready to play with some great Virginia food. This time, spring, we got wonderful asparagus, and there's lots of asparagus being grown in Virginia. We're going to do something a little different with it. We're going to saute it with some apples and onions and kind of caramelize that mix. So the first thing I'm doing is I've got butter here. Going to get it hot. Butter has got some solids in it, and that'll help caramelize it. Once it gets hot and it starts to brown off a little bit, I'm going to add some oil. That'll let it go to a higher temperature. All right, so I've got the butter is in there. I'm going to add these onions, right? All right, let them get started. I want these to caramelize, right? That means to turn a little bit brown. That's going to take about 5 minutes to get some color on them. Don't want to do it too hot, but want to get them nice and brown so the onions are soft. And this, wonderful kind of sloppy undercoating for the asparagus. Okay, these onions now are starting to caramelize. You can see how they're starting to turn a little bit brown. That's what it means. The sugars in the onion are beginning to brown off. So that's going to sweeten them a little bit. Now that they're ready, I'm going to go ahead and add some shallots in there. And I'm going to add a little bit of oil. Because oil will get to a higher temperature without browning. So I want to slow down the browning process now. Right. Turn the heat down so it's slower. All right, now these onions are nice and brown. They've got room for a little bit more, but they're browning off nicely. And I'm going to go ahead and peel this apple. Let's see. I browned off the onions. Normally I would try and brown the apples and the onions in the same pan, but it's kind of delicate and I didn't want to make a mess on TV, so I'm going to go ahead and caramelize these apples in a separate pan and then add them to the onions. Now, apples are a little bit harder to caramelize because they've got so much water in them. Right? Got to evaporate out the water first before they can start to caramelize. So I got the butter browned off nice, so that it's going to give these apples some color. All right, we'll let this get a little bit softer. Does not take long. I've got the asparagus. I've already trimmed them, peeled them, and blanched them. With that, this is the way the asparagus looks normally. Right? I trimmed it, peeled it with a vegetable peeler to get the outside skin off, right? So I could get a nice graduated color. Then I dropped it in boiling water and then put it into ice water to chill it and stop the cooking, and this is what we get. This is before and this is after. So you can see it's tender, it's graduated color. It's really very nice. So I'm going to add these in with the apples and onions and let them get hot. All right, now I'm going to add the apples and onions to the plate to make a little bed for these asparagus to sit on. All right, so now we're going to take the asparagus and put those on top. All right, that's that. Get this out of the way so you can see. Nice asparagus with caramelized apples and onions. It is incredibly good. So join us next week on Heart of the Home, where we get to play with great Virginia food.
Recipes from the Heart of the Home can be found on the Virginia Farm Bureau website at vafb.com, as well as on Chef Maxwell's website at chefjohnmaxwell.com.